What's going on? What's going on, everybody? It is the only sports podcast. That's right, the only sports podcast. I'm Will. That's Casino over there.
How's it going? Oh man, so we've got a little bit of a change in how today's going to work. Normally, BJ over here, he's the one kind of setting it up for everybody. I will be doing that today. So I'm going to throw it over to you. How are you doing today, BJ?
Yeah, whatever my kid had finally hit me, and it's going through my work. It's going through everybody.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah,
No, I hear
voice
that.
is gone.
I'm just now getting better from what we all had, and we tried to write it out before going to the doctors and having to get on something, but we couldn't. In yeah,
Yeah,
it was turning bad. There's a lot going on right now. A lot of people getting sick. A lot of kids getting sick. Somehow, my wife was able to not get what we all had, which is crazy. Because we're
same
just,
with
I mean,
mine.
my kids are just coughing in her face, and I'm still just like, oh, I give her a kiss here and there, and I'm like, "Oh, my bad. Sorry. You're gonna get all infected."
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so welcome to the show. Today we're gonna go over and recap the previous weekend. I know that you did a show yesterday with the Chiefs Eagles. We'll get to that, and when we do, I will touch in a little bit on that. Um, but let's start off all the way back at Thursday night. Very important game. You had the Packers and the Commanders. So with the Packers and Commanders, what I noticed and everybody thought was, oh, every team that has been playing the Packers must stink going on, right? So you thought the Lions stunk, you thought Washington stunk, and that is false because you saw the Lions go and just absolutely destroy their
Mhm.
week. So this Packers defense is absolutely for real, and I really do think this team can go and win a Super Bowl uh, as long as Jordan Love stays healthy. Because Jaden Daniels, he still played a pretty decent game. I don't know if you watched any of that game. I know you're working, but I had a good time watching that game. Jaden Daniels played well. The Washington Commanders played well. You had the oldest team versus the youngest team, but man, that defense for Green Bay is just top tier, absolutely outstanding. And I want to know, are you worried? Do you think that they can take down your Eagles?
Well, I think when it comes, and again, sorry to everybody for the voice today, but I think when it comes to the Packers, it really comes down to, do you think Jordan Love has the stuff to be like that next level quarterback? And I don't. I don't think we've seen enough from him over his short career to think that all of a sudden when we get into the playoffs, he's just going to play 3 perfect games and the Packers are just going to be, the
Yeah.
next great team in the NFL.
I agree with you on that, that it comes down to Jordan Love, and as long as he stays healthy. Also, really funny, he did have that absolute giant wrap on his non-throwing hand, on his throwing thumb, and it's hysterical. My coworker knows that joke as well on how I think of when I think of Jordan Love and his thumb injuries, that it's just gonna be a giant taped up thumb. It was, and it was really
It
funny to see.
was. Yeah.
Um, no, but he looked good. He was, 19 for 31, 2 touchdowns, or just short of 300 yards. Tucker Kraft went off, and my wife had him on his bench, which she was pretty sad about. She's still going to win her fantasy league, so or her fantasy weekend, but good for her. I I think the Packers can go off, and I mean this defense is so good. This reminds me of that Broncos defense back in Super Bowl 50 with Peyton Manning. This team is so good that you don't need to have an amazing quarterback. As long as you can have a quarterback that is competent, which Jordan Love is competent, and he can throw the ball and sling it when he needs to, as long as you protect the football and you have a mediocre day with this defense, the sky's the limit, man. I get your worry about Jordan Love. I am as well. We did not like when he was gifted all that money, undeserving in both our minds, where he had played a half a season, and they're like, "Oh, you're going to make you the highest paid quarterback at the time," yada yada yada. So I don't want to root for Jordan Love and the Packers, but I'm I what this defense can do. They're a fun defense. They're strong, and bringing over Parsons, I don't think he's even come close to hitting his stride over there. and figuring out that team. And he's already really disruptive. Uh, I'm not worried about the Washington Commanders yet. I just thought they came up to a stout team. I mean, they played better against Green Bay than the Lions did, you
Yeah.
know? So, and the Lions just showed that they were like, nope, we're still a good offensive team. We just put up a 50 burger on the Bears, who was supposedly supposed to be a better team. But regardless, if not, they still put up 52 points on them. So, yeah, this all that did was just solidify for me that this Green Bay defense, we knew they were going to be good, but they are the best defense in the league by far, hands down, and they can make a run. They can make a run. Uh,
Yeah, I think, again, I think this team is much closer to legit than I would say somebody like the Colts team that kinda reminds me of what we thought the Saints would be last year.
mhm.
I don't think the Colts, what is it, last and keeps doing what they're doing, but I think the way the Packers
Oh,
are
we'll
doing
get to
it
them.
and what the Packers are doing, I think this is sustainable. Like, they have a legit chance to be the best team, the number 1 seed in the NFC, and then we'll see what happens in the playoffs, but,
Yeah.
you know.
So let's go from Thursday night over to our Sunday now, and let's just jump right into my favorite game, and I loved every second of it. And no, I'm not talking about my game. Is the Giants Cowboys? That
Yeah.
was fun. That was an all-time great between those two. I don't know if the Giants were good or if the Cowboys are.
I'll tell you what,
I
Russell
can't
Wilson was
tell.
good.
Yeah,
Russell Wilson was very good. That
I
was the
think.
best game he's played in 5 years.
Yeah, I think I'm underselling how good the Cowboys are. They're just clicking right now. Obviously, defensively, not so great, but offensively, Dak's coming out and he's producing, man.
Yeah,
He threw
but
for 360, 2 touchdowns. But yeah, Russell Wilson, 450 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. And yes, the interception, but remember, I told you if you throw over 40 times and you don't have an interception, impeccable day. So yeah, he
yeah.
threw for 41 times. Yes, it did go into OT and almost completed the entire OT. Same with Dak, he threw 52 times. But this was an absolute thriller of a game. It had 8 lead changes, and almost all of like 6 of those were in the 4th quarter alone, which was really cool. But I
Well, it's also I think when you look at these 2 teams, like, we knew again, Russell Wilson, I think this is an outlier game. We're not gonna see this every week. I think it's safe to say the Cowboys might have the worst defense in the league, and I don't even think it's close at this point. Like,
yeah,
their secondary is just awful, awful,
yeah. I
awful.
mean, it's not as bad as your voice, but it's pretty dang bad.
It's
Um,
damn near close,
yeah.
but I do think that the Giants now giving over their running back or their rushing attack to, Scatterboo, and then the Cowboys giving it over to Javonte Williams do make both these teams much more viable than what we thought they would just be these one-dimensional, you know, the Giants, we were like, they're not gonna be able to score 15 points a game at the start of the season, and now they just put up 37. Even against
100
the worst defense in the league, that's still impressive.
100%. I mean, but the person that had the superstar of the game, we have to talk about Aubrey. What a absolute hell of a game. I mean, he
Yeah,
didn't
he's
miss
the
an
best
extra
kicker
point.
in the league.
Yeah, he didn't miss an extra point, which I wish we had that. Our kicker missed 2 extra point. And then yeah, he had 4 field goals and he did tie the record. Now he is one of 3 that have hit a 64-yard field goal in the regular season. Just absolutely obliterated that ball. Yeah, he won the game ball. I saw the whole highlights in the locker room afterwards. Deserving. I mean, regardless how well everybody else played, he deserved that. Um, and yeah, Malik Neighbors over on the other side. And as you said, Russell Wilson to lose this game, that's sad. He had a really good game. Malik Neighbors had an outstanding game. He almost caught for 200 yards off of 9 receptions. That's the crazy thing. He was 167 off of 9 receptions. He was just absolutely a monster. Fun game. I loved every second of this game. And that's
Well,
weird to say for Giants Cowboys.
well, that's true. But also, you look at the Cowboys' upcoming schedule, like this is the stretch where they need to rattle off wins because after the next
Mhm.
month, then they just do a murderers row. So they have Bears, Packers, Jets, Panthers. obviously, I think everybody's gonna pick them to lose against the Packers, but if they don't beat the Bears, Jets, Panthers, like, what's the next win on their schedule?
Yeah, the
Maybe the
Bears the
Raiders?
Bears need a win, so that's a sketchy game, and then the Jets, we'll see now because, we do have Justin Fields in concussion protocol after that game, so, ooh, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
You got anything left on this Giants-Cowboys game?
No, I just thought, what is it? Like you said, really entertaining, really good,
I
and
honestly thought there for a second that they were gonna end in a tie. I was gonna laugh my ass off. But the ties scare me when it comes to football. They really do because,
I don't
that
think it should
half
be a thing,
yeah,
honestly.
that half point really can fuck you
I
at
know.
the end of
I
the
don't
season.
I don't like ties. I don't think it should be a tie. I think they should just honestly, I think they should play 1
College
full OT and
and then
then
college
go to
football
call.
rules.
Yeah,
Dude,
I
that would
think
be
that's how
so
it should
much
do it.
fun. I think they should just
It'd
do
be
college football rules.
I mean, I do like
I
college
mean,
football OT.
it is so entertaining, and I mean, why not
Well,
do that?
do college overtime rules and then just don't have the stats count, like, when it gets to OT,
That
so then it doesn't
that's a fair point, yeah.
mess up, like, fantasy and all that crap.
Yeah, because you should have been able to do that during the, regular part of the game.
But see, I
Um,
don't think they do that because it would also mess with betting. Like, all of a
oh,
sudden, if everybody
100%,
goes over, like, you're done.
100%. Um, do you have a certain lineup of games that you wanna roll into, or can I just start going into them?
No, start going.
Nice. So somebody who actually was one of my talking about Cowboys Giants being one of my favorite games of this week. Last week, you had the Steelers Jets as one of my favorite games, and both the Steelers Jets absolutely sucked. So let's get into Seahawks Steelers. And what a wonderful day for me and Aaron Rodgers going back into a wonderful, stupid little pumpkin. Um, 18 for 33, 200 yards, 203, my bad. Two interceptions. He just looked really bad in this game. And, Sam Darnold looked pretty okay. Started to look like he settled in. He did have two interceptions, but he was 22 for 33, two touchdowns, 300 yards. Uh, my wife was happy because she has Kenneth Walker. And yes, I'm going to talk about my wife's fantasy a lot because she went off this week.
Dude, me
Good for
too.
her.
Halfway through this game, I was like, "Do I literally need to trade Kenneth Walker and try to get somebody?" And then all of a sudden, he goes off, he gets the touchdown, and now I'm mostly gonna win because of him.
Oh yeah, he had an outstanding. I mean, he only caught one out of the backfield for 13 yards, but he looked great. Yeah, I'm starting to like Sam Darnold, and I'm really happy they won because that's my pick for them to win that division, and I needed to see some sort of life. And after how well Pitt played last week, the Seahawks absolutely dominating made me feel much better moving forward.
Yeah.
Um, much better moving forward, and I really do feel like if the Seahawks play the Niners this week where, they're starting to be injured and whatnot, they would have won that last week. But yeah, I really liked what Sam Darnold did, and I'm happy that Rodgers is starting to go backwards. Do you think this was an anomaly, game two, or do you think game one was more of an anomaly?
Well, I'll tell you what, I think the biggest question marks on this team is what is this Steelers defense?
Mhm.
Because they got lit up last week by a Jets offense that couldn't do anything against the
Right.
Bills this week.
Yeah, everybody
And
was
again,
excited about that Jalen Ramsey hit, and that was a great hit to seal the game. But outside of that, ooh,
yeah, and I'll tell you what, the Bills defense hasn't looked that impressive 2 weeks
no.
in, so it's not like, they have a top 5 defense, but
Yeah, I mean, I told you that's my one worry for the Bills for this season. It's their defense that scares me. But I mean,
yeah.
when they can put up 35 plus a game, that's makes it pretty tough to beat them. But
Well, also, I pretty much watched all this game. It was a within a 3-point score until that 4th quarter where all of a sudden the Seahawks just went off and went 17 points to kinda pull out in
yeah, they
front,
they
but
they slammed the door on him at the end there.
yeah,
Um, but I,
but
I love
other
how
than that
Rogers. Did you see how Rogers was just super angry and yelling at all of his teammates again? And
yeah,
oh,
and then
it
in the
would just
press
I
Well,
just
the
don't
press conference after the game, he's already, like, blaming players on his
right,
team.
and I don't understand this narrative that all these players come out and say, "Oh, we love playing with Rodgers. Rodgers is great. Like, he's such a team guy." And then all you see is him just talking shit about and placing blame about every other player on
Mhm.
his teams, on every team he's been on. And yes, so here comes my Rodgers just hate, but it's not me because I just hate Rodgers. It is he's doing it. And how do people don't
It's
see it
weird.
is mind blowing.
Yeah,
He's at the
I don't
podium
understand
blaming
it.
other players, and then yet players say that he's a great teammate. I don't want like if you were going on your solo shows here and you're just talking shit about me, that would hurt. That would hurt, you
Yeah,
know.
I
But
do that in the comments. I do that in the
oh,
comments.
you're that guy. Anyway, but yeah,
But,
no, it's
no, I
I'm
completely agree.
so over him. And that question that I asked you, do you think the first game was more of an anomaly or if it's the second game? I think the first game was. I truly think the first game, like he's only had a handful of those type of games.
Mhm.
I think it was like that was the third time in his career where he scored 4 touchdowns outside the pocket, which I know, I mean, that's tough to do. That's impressive. 4 touchdowns for any quarterback in a single game is always a good stat. But
Yeah.
yeah, that I mean, that game was an anomaly, in my opinion, and this is more what I'm going to expect from the Steelers moving forward. They can be good, but it's going to be the attitude of Aaron Rodgers when they're down. And
Yeah.
always what happens when they're down is he just gets pissy and then he just blows games. And so I feel like there's going to be a lot more of that moving forward. Unless they have like at least a 10-point lead by halftime, they're going to lose that game.
Well, now also, again, if the Steelers defense right now, it's bottom 6 in the league. So
Mhm.
if this stays as a bottom 10 defense with this offense, this Steelers team is gonna be a lot worse than both you and I projected them to be, which was a borderline, like, fringe playoff team, which we have the Steelers both in the playoffs because the Steelers never miss the playoffs, but
Yeah.
they're gonna miss it if they're a bottom 5 defense with Rodgers turning the ball over more than he's slinging
Yeah.
it. So,
So we just got to, keep watching them. And I think they're just going to do what we expected them to do, right? They're
yeah.
going to win one, lose one. But
Mhm.
I think they will possibly just win one more than they need to and be like that 10-7 mark and make the playoffs right at the end because that's just what they're going to do.
Well,
Uh,
they have your team next week, so that means Rodgers just gonna absolutely light him up just to spite you.
yeah,
Just to
probably.
spite you. Yeah.
That's fine. So move God damn it. So moving on, let's get over to another Seahawks division rival. We got the LA Rams moving on in. They are now 2-0. Stafford looks good with his back. This makes me sad that I wanted to pick them. I wanted to pick them before the season started, but when all that came out about his back, I still think eventually it will wear on him.
Mhm.
Um, but he looked good. And instead of Puka Nacua today, or this go around, it was Devontae Adams coming on out shining. Puka was the person that was targeted the most, but Devontae Adams did have the most. He had the touchdown. Man, Stafford is so good.
Yeah.
I just like him. I just rewatched, and I think I sent it to you as well when it was that wonderful turning point video where he got his shoulder like messed up, dislocated, whatever it was, and he goes off for a play, and then like the defense calls a timeout, and then he goes back out there, and then he goes down and gets them the touchdown,
Mhm.
and it was like one long cut. If you haven't seen that, if for those who haven't seen that, look up Matthew Stafford, um, single like a single cut. It doesn't break away from him at all. And it's like an 8-minute video, 8-minute long video of just straight one cut, one camera being on him the entire time. And it's just phenomenal. I love Matthew Stafford and I'm glad that he's playing well. And I hope that he doesn't, get a back injury and tweak it more. Um, that going said, let's move on over to a
Well,
team
the
that,
one thing I did wanna say about
okay, yeah,
this
what's up?
game was, did you see the insane, Cam Ward crossbody throw to the other end side of the end zone?
I did not. No.
That is one of the best throws you're ever gonna see that no coach will ever tell their quarterback to make, but the way hold on, I'm gonna pull it up right now.
Yeah.
Uh, but
No, yeah, I
keep
didn't see that.
going.
So I pretty much just watched whatever when it popped up on Red Zone. I didn't watch a lot of this game, honestly, because
Oh,
I just don't care about Tennessee. And
see,
it's
I
nothing
do.
against Cam Ward. Tony Pollard, I can't stand him.
Alright,
I mean,
ready, watch this.
go for it. Yeah, I'm
Okay,
ready to check this out.
this throw is one of the best throws you're ever gonna see that no one will ever tell
Well, it's
somebody to make.
probably luck.
Oh,
Ward, look.
okay, so he rolls out. He
Rolls out. Okay, yeah, see, I mean,
Ooh!
that was a great throw. He got a lot of power in that, but that ball
Over
still had a
2
lot of
Rams defenders.
yeah,
Oh,
but that still had a lot of airtime. That had a lot of airtime. I mean, that is some just that was all arm strength.
ooh!
That was all arm strength. I mean, great throw and catch. But yeah, I would never say that would work like all the time. Like that's a
I know, it's great.
very dangerous throw. And that was his only one touchdown of the game. So
I mean, I'll
what
tell you
can he
what,
do?
I watched, this entire game. He looks good.
Why?
He looked a lot because I'm interested in the Rams or interested in the, Titans this year. I like
I'm
the
sorry.
Titans. I like watching them. And
They're 0
that's
two.
why I know, but this game was much better than week 1, and it was you could tell Cam Ward's kinda starting to get even a like it was he was light years better this game than he was last game. So I think by midseason, we're really going to see him. I mean, again, if his wide receivers can catch, I think he's good. I think he's real
Okay.
good.
All right. Well, let's get into next game. We have another 2-0 team versus now an 0-2 team. We have the Buffalo Bills versus the New York Jets. And boy, oh boy, did Justin Fields look bad before he went out for his concussion. And
Yeah.
then, yeah, Tyrod Taylor coming in 7-11, 56 yards, one touchdown. Yeah, combined, dude, they barely threw for over 100 yards. This was a very bad game for the Jets. And then, I mean, pretty much this was just the James Cook game. The Bills, they knew that they had the Jets on the ropes. And oh, did we freeze?
Yeah, we're back.
All right. So what I was saying basically was this was just the James Cook game. They knew that
Mhm.
the Jets were not going to do anything offensively to them. And they just kept handing the ball off to James Cook. 21 carries, 132 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Josh Allen, he didn't have to be spectacular, and he wasn't. He was 14 for 25, 148 yards. Not good through the air. But granted, he did get his face busted in. Did you see that? Oh, come on.
Josh Allen did, and still, but
Yeah.
again, I think if you're a Bills fan and you think every Bills game that Josh Allen needs to play hero ball and win the game for you. And then all of a sudden you see a game where Josh Allen, even on the stat sheet, does nothing and the team still blows out another team that looked good in week 1.
Hmm.
Like that's encouraging, especially
That's very encouraging.
especially where the whole offseason talk about James Cook was is even going to be a Buffalo Bill by week 1. So
Yeah.
now by week 2, he's basically single-handedly winning you the game. I feel like
Yeah.
that's a huge win.
Yeah, this team is good. I mean, we do question their defense. They did well, obviously against the Jets, like I said, but we didn't expect Justin Fields in that offense, and neither with the Steelers to come out and do what they did last week, right? We didn't expect that. I didn't expect him to play as bad as he did. I didn't expect him to get hurt, but we'll see how this go moving forward. I don't know how I'm going to feel about Tyrod Taylor because I'm sure he's playing the next game or two, just
Mhm.
depending on how bad that concussion is for Justin Fields. And yeah, like Josh Allen taking that bust nose. So I didn't look into it, but so essentially what he just broke his nose or like busted his face. because he
I think it just got hit in the face with a fist or somebody's helmet or something. I
yeah.
don't know because he was
It
laying
was
on
like
the
it was
ground.
like a hand. I think like a hand kinda
Yeah,
got up there, and then he also hit his face mask on the ground. So,
yeah.
I think it all just busted because he just ran off with the holding his face down, and he was bleeding out the nose. So, I don't know if it ended up breaking. I hadn't looked into that, but man, ouch. I mean, have you ever broken your nose?
No.
I accidentally kind of broke one of my friend's noses, but without touching him, which was funny. So um, I ran cross country and track back in high school, and you may have you might have been there. So we were playing ultimate frisbee up at that park that we always played at, and we were done playing ultimate frisbee, and we kind of turned to do like a freeze tag. And so I don't know if you were there because it was mostly just the cross country team, and we were just getting some running.
I don't think
We
I
were,
was there for this
we
one.
were just getting some running and agility put in, so we were playing freeze tag with that. And one of our superstar runners, freshman, and I was a senior, and he's chasing me from behind, and I see one of my other good runners, top seven runner. He's coming towards me, and basically, so I have one trailing me, one coming from me from the front. Right at the last second, because they were both taggers, two of the three taggers. I jump to the side, they collide.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and we stopped, I had to drive him home, he was bleeding profusely from the nose, broke his nose, he came back the next day, he had just giant black eyes, and his parents were pissed with me, and it was like, I didn't wasn't truly my fault, he ran into the other guy, but, they thought that he was out just hanging out and, like, relaxing. They didn't know that we were at the park training pretty much, having fun training. And yeah, so they're like, "Why'd you do that at night? It's like 8 o'clock at night. He broke his nose." And I'm like, "Yeah, I am." Yep. See you tomorrow. It was bad. It was bad. It took them a little time to warm back up to me after that. Luckily, my dad was friends with the family, so my dad kind of was like, kind of kept it light, and I think got me back on their good graces. But yeah, so Buffalo good, offense is great, regardless of Josh Allen playing hero ball. Then again, it was the Jets. I know we are a little higher on the Jets, who are now 0-2, and one of the
Yeah.
worst teams in that division, but not the worst, um, in my opinion. My team
No,
is close
yeah.
to that. And talking about that division, let's just move on over to my Patriots and the Miami Dolphins, and woo, close.
This is a game I watched absolutely nothing of.
I
0.
watched every snap of this game. Um, what I have learned is the secondary is just god awful for the Patriots, just horrible. That has a lot to do with Gonzalez being out still and hurt. Christian Gonzalez is an amazing corner when he's healthy, one of the best in the league by far, top five, maybe even top three for me when he's playing.
Yeah,
And I don't think
I
that's
agree.
disputable. Like, he's amazing. That was a huge hit for them, but he needs to stay healthy. And then Davis got hurt. Davis the third got hurt, which is not good for the Patriots secondary. And if anybody that listens to this podcast knows anybody that can kick a field goal or an extra point, please send them to the Patriots organization and tell them to try out, because dear God, I'm over him. I am he missed 2 extra points. Yes, he had a couple field goals there, but he missed the 2 extra points, and he also, off one of the kickoffs, screwed up real bad at the end of the game and sent the Dolphins to their 45. Dude, like,
Which honestly, we saw yesterday in that Steelers Seahawks game how much special teams can affect if you win or lose because when the
we saw it in
17
a lot of
point
the games
well,
yesterday.
but yeah, but that 17-point swing in the Seahawks Steelers was because the kickoff bounced off that Steelers guy and the Seahawks recovered it in the end zone. Like that was the turning point in the game that turned it from a 3-point game to a blowout. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
And
the
then the Cowboys Giants, the Cowboys won that game because their kicker's so good.
yeah. And so Tua, for the most part, actually played pretty well. He was slinging the ball fairly nice. There was that one miss that he had with Tyreek Hill that could have been real devastating for the Pats. Um, so I'm glad that they didn't hit that. He did have an interception. He did have a fumble. So the Patriots defense, the inner part of their defense played well, but it's over the top. That's what we saw in the week 1 as well, where they were like 3rd and 20s, the Raiders, and yet all of a sudden now they got the first down. They need to fix that secondary really, really bad. The inner part of their defense is doing just fine. They're stopping the run games. Don't really have to worry about that. Like the Dolphins total, I mean, I don't even know what the total is here. Not much. The total is like 60 something yards. So or 71 yards. So that is not that good rushing. The Patriots defense was able to hold them up, but over the air to a Tagovailoa pretty much just had his way with the Patriots. Um, and Drake May didn't play horrible. He protected the football. He was 19 for 23, which is pretty dang good, 230 yards and 2 touchdowns. It came down to that defense letting so much over the top. Ramondre Stevenson had a pretty good game, only 54 yards carrying it, but he had 88 through the air. Shout out Centennial High School, our team. Let's go, Ramondre. What? Um, which was great. But the coolest part of this game, did you watch any highlights?
Yeah, I saw the highlights of it.
So, how about that? We punted and the Dolphins player ran it back off the punt, got the touchdown. The very next play, the kickoff, we had Antonio Gibson run it back for a touchdown, which was really funny, and my heart was going crazy. So, what I've learned is the Patriots, they're not as bad as I thought they were in week 1. The Raiders are good. It's just that secondary and over the top that is costing this team, and they could have won week 1 and they almost lost week 2 because of that. So they got to get that fixed and their kicking fixed, which I know is a lot. But outside of that, I like the offense. They're moving the football, and then I think the inner part of the defense is good. Dolphins, though, did you see McDaniels after they lost and he's just standing on the sideline? He knows it is coming. He
Yeah.
knows that it is time, and especially with Tyreek Hill throwing an absolute fit on the field.
Well, did you
Oh
also
boy.
then did you see that weird Tua press conference afterwards where he's just
Yeah.
saying the most random ththings you've ever heard? This team is a mess.
Yeah,
Like,
and
you
two
watch him play, you watch him talk, you watch
well,
their
two the
sidelines.
Tua again, that worries me with his head, dude. Like, he's off. Something's off with this team. This team just doesn't seem to be in it, and it doesn't seem like McDaniels really cares to be there at all.
No, it feels like everybody in week 2 on that team on the sideline already knows it's over and is just kind of
Yeah,
showing up because they have to.
they have to,
Like,
and
I
I do think Tyreek Hill will go back to the Chiefs.
you think that's gonna happen?
I do think that's gonna happen. I mean,
I just don't
he's so frustrated. I mean, this team, they know they're not gonna go anywhere, so why not get rid of Tyreek Hill and get stuff in return?
but I just don't think the Chiefs have the salary cap to do it.
You don't
I
think that he would be like, "Oh, potential." I mean, I know they're 0-2 now, we'll get to them, but you don't think that he would wanna go to that kind of a team?
No, I would say I think he wants to go there. I just don't think the Chiefs would be able to afford him.
Alright, well, fair enough. So now let's get into a couple barn burners here. Uh, Jags Bengals. I mean, well, that was actually a pretty fun one. So let's get into Jags Bengals. First thing to note out of this is you do have Joe Burrow now out with turf toe. He's going to have surgery on his foot. Not good, but Jake Browning came in and off the bench played pretty okay. I mean, he had 3 interceptions, but he did get 2 touchdowns and threw for almost 250, which is good. This was a big Jamar Chase game. He pretty much saved the team. I don't think Trevor Lawrence played god awful, but he does what he does. He he loses right at the end. He throws interceptions. What we have come to learn from the Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence is he loses you games at the end.
Yeah.
Um, that's pretty much what it came down to. Brittany was happy. because he still threw multiple touchdowns. And I say my
Oh
wife,
my god, she had him as her quarterback?
yeah, she has him and Justin
Ugh.
Fields. Yet she's going to win this week because all of her other players absolutely went off.
Ugh.
Yeah, Justin Fields only gave her 3 points, but, yeah, this game was more entertaining than I wanted it to be, and I can't believe that the Cincinnati Bengals are 2-0. I still will stand by our take that they are a dumpster fire. This team is bad. They are squeaking wins,
Yeah.
and it's not looking good for them moving forward, especially with Joe Burrow out. Again, Browning came in, wasn't great, but wasn't horrible. Yes, three interceptions, but he had the 2 touchdowns. He moved the football. Um, coming off the bench, it's tough to come off the bench, right?
Well,
And
also,
play that.
I feel like you're burying the lead with Burrow. Burrow's gonna be out for 3 months.
Yeah.
So, he's
No, I mean that's
what
why I said we need to start off like he has to have surgery on his foot. He's got turf toe. Like that's going to be a long
so,
recovery.
I mean, we're already through September, so what? We're not gonna see Joe Burrow till potentially January? That
Mhm.
is what a
Yeah,
blow.
and
What
you
a
think this
blow.
Bengals team and Browning can and no, this
No.
it's done. Their season's done. Yes, they got their 2-0, but just watch them start to rattle off some losses here because I think that's right around the corner.
Well, this is their next 3 games, or their next 4 games, I'm sorry, are Vikings, which they could win after what we've seen from the Vikings. Then it's Broncos, Lions, Packers.
Yeah.
Like, that
So there's 3
is
losses. So at best, they're going to be 3-3 at the end of 6 games. At
yeah.
best. But I do think the Vikings can turn this around because now home team Bengals are going to probably win that game. So moving forward, but Jacksonville being 1-1, they're kind of right where I thought they were. My buddy picking Jacksonville to win this division, still an idiot. And I've let him know it every single day.
Yeah, that's bad.
Just dumb. Just dumb. But yeah, no more on this game. Poor Joe Burrow. My wife was really sad because she follows not Joe Burrow himself, but she follows all the ladies. She follows the hype that the ladies love Joe Burrow and she finds it funny. So she's constantly just going on the internet and just watching fangirls react to Joe Burrow and everything that he does. I mean, I get it. I'm one of them. I absolutely love Joe Burrow. I know you are as well. So that's a crap game.
No.
It ended fun. It ended with a last minute drive, but moving forward, we have now the San Francisco. I don't know how 2-0 49ers
Mac
versus
Jones. Mac Jones magic.
Mac Jones magic. I mean, 3 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, dude. Good for him. Almost 300 yards.
I'll tell you what, this is a game I watched almost all of. He looked good. He
He
was
looked good.
slinging it. He was
Yeah,
slinging
and I mean, this made me frustrated because why
it.
isn't Mac Jones doing that when he was on the Pats? Regardless, that
Because Bill
aside,
Belichick was his coach. Have you seen what Bill Belichick's doing with North Carolina?
yeah, nothing.
It's
But and you know what? Spencer Rattler had a pretty good game. He had 3 touchdowns. Alvin Kamara, not even. I mean, he's right at 99 yards, but man, he's old. Kamara's old, man. He just doesn't look great. And then McCaffrey, they both just look like they just need to hang it up, man. They just need to
I'll
hang it up.
I'll tell you what, I am never scared on this podcast to admit when I was wrong. I legitimately thought Spencer Rattler could not play in this league as a quarterback after 2 games this season on a team that, again, everybody, including myself, just wrote off as one of, if not the worst team in the league. Spencer Rattler can sling it, man. And this is not a outlier Russell Wilson kind of thing. Like, we've seen it 2 weeks in a row now where he looks good. Like, he looks real good, especially against, obviously a 49ers defense that was depleted this offseason, but against a Robert solid defense, he goes 207 and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, he's rattling off some impressive stats there. See what I did? See what I did there? Sorry. Anyway, yeah, I'm really sad that the Niners are 2-0 though. I want to talk. I have a good friend who works at another bar down the street, and he is a diehard Niners fan. And he keeps coming in, and it's just like, I told you they're good. I told you they're good." And I'm like, "Bro, chill. Like, I haven't been impressed. I have not been impressed by this team. They barely beat the Seahawks, and that's with, week 1, so they have all their players, and then they barely beat the Saints, who's gonna be one of the worst teams in the league, who might go 0-17.
Yeah.
So, but, so yeah, I mean, this game was entertaining. They did show it a lot on, Red Zone, so yeah, it was okay. Yeah.
I don't
Again,
again
I'm
with
just more sad that Mac Jones played well. I'm really sad.
I'm you know what? Our commenter said I sound like Louis Armstrong, and what a wonderful world when we get to see Mac Jones on our television sets just light up a bad team. Uh, but I'll tell you what, I don't know who the Saints pissed off because their schedule for what a team that was also bad last year is just a murderer's row
Yeah,
of
I had
how
this
are
arg
they
yeah,
how
I
are they
had
playing the Bills? How are
I don't
they
know.
playing the Rams?
So
How are they playing
I had this argument, last year and again
with the
this year with
Patriots?
the
Yeah.
same person of and it wasn't just the Patriots having a murder's row of a schedule last year and, they're bottom of the league, but everybody was like, "Oh, you know, the Eagles have a tough schedule this year because they won the Super Bowl and this," and I'm like, none of that matters. It goes by who has availability, when, and what can make them the most money. They don't care. The league does not
Mhm.
care about strength of schedule. And if you are one of the worst teams or one of the best teams, they say that's a thing. It is not a thing. It has never been a thing. So we froze again. So yeah, blow it out your ass. It's never been a thing. It's whatever's gonna make them money. And
Yeah.
that's what pisses me off. That and for all the teams, right? For all the teams. That's what makes me angry is teams that don't deserve to have hard schedules get hard schedules, and teams that deserve to have easier schedule, they don't, right? And
Yeah.
it's frustrating. It is what it is, but
Well,
sometimes it shakes out
also
right, but for the most part, it doesn't.
there's no transparency to it. It's
Mm-mm.
like, how is it being decided which teams play which teams? Now, obviously, it's every year where it's you play your division and then another specific division, but in the rest of the remaining games, how are the Saints not playing what if they're playing uh the NFC East and the AFC South or the NFC South this year? Why are the other games out of those not against the other teams that were in last place in their division last year?
It doesn't
It
make
makes
sense.
no sense.
Yeah, they don't make sense.
Now next week, the Saints, the worst team in the league, one of the worst teams in the league last year, is playing the Bills in Buffalo.
Yeah, they're getting
How?
absolutely, yep,
How?
wrecked. So let's move to one of the other better of the AFC teams, if not the best AFC team. You have the Ravens absolutely handling the Browns. Just again, I have the Browns as the worst team. You have the Saints as the worst team. Joe Flacco wasn't horrible for his age, but I mean, Lamar Jackson absolutely just dominated 4 touchdowns in the air. Again, everybody gives him shit about his passing ability. He shut up. He was 19 for 29, 225 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He looked great. Derrick Henry did take a little step back this week, a big step back this week. He had 23 yards and 11 carries. But, I wonder I just why he doesn't need to be the guy every week. And I saw some people talking about, oh, he only got that many yards and only that many carries, which he still had the most carries for the team because he fumbled last week. And I'm like, just shut up. Just shut up. Like they didn't need to rely on Derrick Henry. They relied on Derrick Henry in that last game because they were playing the other best team in the division or in the conference. Like
Yeah.
blowed out your ass. This was going to be an easy win for him. It was a blowout win for him. So they didn't need to work hard. They didn't need to work hard at all. Like this looked like a practice. The Ravens going up against a practice squad, and they were just kind of having their way with them. They weren't even trying, and yet they were still absolutely succeeding tremendously. I really don't have much to say about this game besides the Ravens are 1-1. I told you they were going to come and blow out this Browns team, and they did. Good for them. And yeah, they made an absolute statement of like, the only reason we lost week 1 was because the Bills are just that good, and we will see them in the playoffs, and we'll see them to see who goes to the Super Bowl. You know, That's again, it sucked that was a week 1 game, but it made me really happy because it really set the tone for the season. But yeah, can't really look too much into that. These two teams are absolutely elite, and the Browns are the Browns. Glad
Yeah.
Myles Garrett's getting paid.
Well, I'll tell you what is it? Quinchon Judkins, he was a stash for fantasy teams across the league. Everybody kept saying the second he gets on the Browns, he's going to be their number one back without question. And the exact moment he could, which was week 2, he is now getting 10 carries, which was double anybody else on the team. So if he is available in your league, I picked him up, I stashed him, I put him on IR, and then next week he's probably going to be one of my
Yeah,
starting
I
running
mean, I
backs.
just
So
picked up as my backup tight end. I picked up Fanning. He had a good game week 1. He had a pretty good game this week. He had the tied most receptions with the running back James Jerome Ford. So I'm happy with picking up Fanning as the tight end. I know this team is going to be bad. I have Jerome Ford on my bench, and then I know he's going to be behind Judkins, but he'll still get some touches here and there. Um,
also, I take back everything I said about starting Judkins next week. The Browns play the Packers next week.
yeah, don't do
That's going to be
it.
bad.
Don't play anybody against the Packers.
Also,
Um,
over on Twitch, shout out Got a Shot One, who said, "Loving these takes, guys. Only podcast out there that makes sense."
oh,
Well,
thanks, man.
we're also the only sports podcast, so the
Yeah.
only sports podcast out there.
Well,
Uh,
he did say apparently the only podcast that makes sense too. So I mean,
you
but
know
yeah,
what? I'll take it. I'll
yeah, me
take
too.
it.
That's even better.
Uh,
So let's move on now.
yeah.
Let's get over to the Bears Lions. And like I said to start this, the Lions, good offense. They are a good team. They just came against that stout defense that was Green Bay, that is Green Bay. So, and you know what? I'm really, 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 really happy that Caleb Williams wasn't that great. And my buddy, my coworker who's a Bears fan, I talk with him all the time about it. And he's like, one more game. If Caleb Williams has one more bad game and this Bears team has one more bad game, get rid of coach. I'm blanking. Why am I blanking?
Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson. Get rid of Ben Johnson and trade Caleb. Obviously, that's an overreaction by him, but basically, he's on board with what I've been saying. Is I don't think Caleb was going to have a bounce back season. I think what we saw last year is what he is, and this Bears team they're the Bears. They're doing what the Bears do. And he brought up, and I can't believe this is true. The last quarterback that was worth a damn was Mitch Trubisky because he was the one that at least
Yeah.
took you to the playoffs, which is mind blowing that your best quarterback has been Mitch Trubisky. But again, the Bears, they haven't had good quarterbacks. They are known to never have good quarterbacks. I'm really sad that my hot take saying Caleb's going to turn it around this year didn't pan out, but I jumped over pretty quick to he's going to be garbage, and he is.
And I'll tell you what, we talked about the Lions game last week, which
Yeah.
was Jared Goff. Again, that was a bad game by the Lions. Jared Goff did not have a bad game last week.
No,
There
he
was
didn't.
just his completion percentage this week was basically what it was last week. The only difference was this time he had over 300 yards, 5 touchdowns, no turnovers.
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely stud.
that's
And I am struggling. I am talking my fantasy right now. I am going to have to have massive games by both Stroud and by Baker Mayfield tonight, and also Jacoby Myers. I have to have all three of them go off so I can win this week. Because me being the very nice guy that I am, I was playing my coworker who I worked with Saturday night, and she knows football really well. She's got a really good team. This was her idea to start the fantasy team with our coworkers and our spouses and whatnot. But I guess she didn't comprehend that right away that I changed it from a flex to an OP. And
yeah.
when she showed me your team, I was like, because she was freaking out on who she should play, and I'm like, I'm not going to help you, whatnot. And she was like, yeah, but she was like, I wish I could put Goff in as well. And I was like, this is an OP league, so you can put in the double quarterback. And like it finally dawned on her. She's like, offensive player, I'm an idiot kind of situation. And Yeah, so she puts in Jared Goff, and he went 33 points in fantasy and had 5 touchdowns and just absolutely flew away, and I'm so pissed. The player that she had in, I don't remember who it was off the top of my head, but if I looked at it, I would recall it. They had like 20 points, so it's like a 13-point sway. I'm still right there. I'm only at a 47% chance to win. She's at 53 going into Monday night, which is pretty fun because everybody else has already been decided. But yeah, Jared Goff looked great. They put up that 50 burger, and the Bears, man, everybody that was high on the Bears last year that they were going to go win the Super Bowl. This year, they thought they were definitely going to go win the Super Bowl. 0-2, pretty much a death penalty when it comes to making the playoffs, and I don't think they will.
All right, we're back.
Dude, this is the one week that you need me most, and we've been flawless ever since I've moved back over to my original spot.
I know.
But
And
anyway,
now we're just crapping out.
so
But
before we got 6 games to get through.
well, hold on. Last bit on the Bears Lions. If legitimately, if you are the Bears and you see again, Caleb Williams was not the issue in this game. That Bears defense gave up
That
52 points.
yeah, that defense was rough.
But if you're a fan of the Bears, do you still think Caleb Williams is the guy?
No, my
I don't
coworker
think
straight
so
up said
either.
no. He said he's not the franchise quarterback, and regardless what happens next game, whether he pulls it around or not, but he's just not the guy. He just doesn't seem comfortable in the NFL.
He really doesn't. Again, I
Mhm.
think a lot has to do with that offensive line, but a lot has to do with what his issues were last year, which is he holds onto the ball so ridiculously long when there's nothing open.
Yeah.
It's like
The
it's a
one the
legit
one
problem.
promising spot, and my buddy brought it up, 'cause obviously he watched every snap of this game. He's like, "Joe Tooney, absolute beast." He was like, he was manhandling 2 people at a time, and he still looked good doing it. So, I knew he was gonna be beast. I wish he came back to the Pats, but, I'm glad he left the Chiefs, 100%. So let's get into one of my favorite games of the week, if not my favorite game outside of the Chiefs losing and my Patriots winning. So the third best. We got the Colts Broncos. Oh man, I really wanted the Broncos to win this because I wanted to just see the 2-0 Broncos and the 0-2 Chiefs, and my takes just being on point with that. But I will take it because we do have a new superstar in the league with a new nickname, and his name is Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones. Have you heard them that they were saying that, and it stuck. It's gonna be great. It's Indiana Jones, Daniel
That's
Jones.
actually really funny.
It's so good, and he looks so good doing it. Um, I felt bad for Bo Nix because he played a really good game, and this was just a hard fought game. I'm worried about the Broncos defense. I thought they were going to be a little more elite than what they have shown. I did pick them up in my fantasy. I was actually the first person to pick a defense, and I went with the Broncos instead of the Packers. I went off my gut. Sad, but but I will say Daniel Jones and his connection with Tyler Warren looks really good. I really like this Colts team, and I told you before the season my hot take was Daniel Jones going to come in and look good because Richardson's going to get hurt, and that was what happened. But Daniel Jones looks great. He looks really good. He looks rejuvenated and ready to be on a new team. And look what happened with Sam Darnold, right? Uh, when he went over to the Vikings, he changed his career. Daniel Jones is going to do the same thing. And I know you're saying that they are the Saints of last year. I don't think that.
I'm
I
just saying it could be. It could be. I'm
It
not saying
could
they
be,
are.
it could be, but I like the weapons what the Colts have better, and I really like Jonathan Taylor. He looked great. Tyler Warren. I know you got Bowers as the really good young tight end, but Warren is everything Rob Gronkowski said. He looks really good out there. He looks poised. It looks like he's been playing in the league forever. I
Yeah.
like him a lot. And again, Bo Nix did not have a bad game. It's sad to see how this game came down. That the Broncos kicker missed that field goal. And was it the field goal or the extra point? Whichever one it was.
No, no, it was a field
It
goal
was
to
a
win the game.
it was the field goal because that would have put them up 6. But yeah, so it goes down. The Colts. I want to get your true thoughts on this. It was a 60-yarder. He missed the first one, and then it was called for leverage. Yes, by the rule of the book, he did touch the center's back. But he didn't push him down. He didn't try to get by him. He got knocked down. He got hit in the legs, and he fell, put his hands on, and then went straight up. That
Mhm.
I It was such a weak call in my opinion, but by the definition, that is leverage. He did touch him. Yeah, that's just a tough way to lose. That is an absolute tough way to lose.
Yeah, I didn't like that at all. I didn't like, what is it? How those type of calls win the game, and then afterwards, everybody has to go, "Well, technically, it's the rules." And then it's like, "Yeah, but again, why are these rules like this to the point where it's even ticky-tacky?"
Yeah.
Again, that's the thing we hate.
Like if you get
Ticky-tacky
if
interpretations.
if I come up to you and you're standing in front of me and I hit the bottom parts of your, right below your knees or at your knees, you're gonna fall forward. Like it just
Yeah.
is a thing. And he didn't push him down. He didn't have any, he didn't try to jump over him or anything like that. And in slow mo, it looked like it was on there longer. But when you look at it in real time, it's as fast as like a cat touching a freaking hot stove. It was just like just on off. Like
Well, also my issue with that play being or with that penalty being called is him doing that to the center did not affect the kick at all. If that would
0%.
have if he would have blocked the kick, then you could make the case like, "Oh, he gained an advantage doing that, and that's why he blocked the kick." But the kicker missing the kick and the guy getting leverage not having any
Yeah,
impact
they
on
pretty
that
much
kick
made
being
that
made.
they made that rule so like you don't try to jump over him and you hurt the center.
Yeah.
But like nobody was trying to do that. He got hit, he fell forward, and quick reaction. He As soon as he touched the back with the one hand, he put his hand straight back up. I didn't like the call. I mean, it is
No.
what it is, but I feel bad. The Broncos will be just fine. The Colts look good. That was a fun game to watch. I watched almost every snap of that game. Um,
Well,
yeah,
also that hurts. I think it will honestly affect the Broncos because again, Chiefs are 0-2 in that division. And after tonight, what is it? One team will be 2-0, one will be 1-1. So if the Broncos would have been 2-2, the Chiefs would have been what 2.5 games out of first place.
yeah,
Now, if the Raiders or Chargers win tonight, they're still going to be 2.5, but they're going
yeah.
to be a lot closer to one
I
and one
agree.
team than
No,
you know,
I
two,
agree.
2-2, 2-0 teams.
So let's get to a
Yeah.
game that they showed on Red Zone about a billion times, and I got frustrated every single time. The Cardinal Panthers. God, I was so frustrated watching this. They kept putting it on. I hated every second of it. I truly hated every second of watching this game, and I just I can't. I can't. Kyler Murray looked bad. I did not like his game at all. Bryce Young, you know what? He actually played pretty okay. He had to throw the ball 55 goddamn times with one interception. Not bad. Again, as I've said earlier in the pod, anything over 40 throws, if you have one interception, I think you're doing okay. I think you're
Yeah,
doing okay.
exactly.
But he had 3 touchdowns. He had 328 on yardage. Pretty good. I mean, this just was two teams, teams battling it out. And so it was fun for the fans of these teams to watch that. But for and again, I love football, but I don't give a shit about either one of these teams when I know neither one of these teams are gonna do anything in this league. Yeah, I know the Cardinals are 2-0. I have 0 faith in them. I mean, you
Yeah,
duked it out with the goddamn Panthers for crying out loud, and then last week they had, god damn it, who do they have
the
last week? They had the
Saints.
Saints, and
Yeah.
they barely beat the Saints last week as well. I have 0 confidence in this team. They go to the Niners next, they're gonna lose. They have the Seahawks after that, they're gonna lose. Titans, they'll win that one. Then you got Colts, Packers, Cowboys, Seahawks, Niners again. Yeah, I mean, no, and then they end their yeah, I mean, they've got a pretty easy schedule for the most part, but I still have no faith in this team. I have no faith in them.
Well, I also think when you look at this game, I
Yeah,
mean,
especially when, the new Call of Duty comes out, which is right around the corner, they'll start dropping.
yeah, and I mean, you look at the Cardinals were completely dominating this game, and then all of a sudden at halftime, I don't know what adjustments the Cardinals made, but that was a 5-point game with 2 minutes left, and then there was that really bad roughing the passer call with Josh Sweat, which again, we'll talk when we get to Eagles Chiefs about bad roughing the passer calls. That is a penalty that we need to be first off, it needs to be reviewable. And second off, there needs to be a line in it that says, like, roughing the passer, like, with the intent to hurt or something like that. Because again, we have so many things where it's like, oh, the hand touched the helmet. Like, that's 15 yards. It extends plays. Clearly, that guy was not trying to take just a free shot at murdering the quarterback right there. Like, we need these type of little wording to make it to where you can plausibly be like, oh yeah, that's not 15 yards. Or do like what they do with kicking, where it's roughing the kicker and running into the kicker, where it's a difference between
Yeah.
15 yards and
It's
5
it's it's
yards.
it's a tier. By the way, that was, longer than a minute. You need to calm down,
I know.
chill,
I
drink
need to
some,
take a drink of my tea.
take a drink of your tea. Um, yeah, bad game.
Ah,
So let's get into there's 2 games left. I know you did the Chiefs Eagles, but I want to touch on that. Let's talk about last night's game, which was ugh, just a of a game. Just straight yeah. Um,
ugh,
I I really wanted the Falcons to just absolutely annihilate them, and they had the chance. They had the chance to put so many touchdowns on this team, and they just didn't. Um,
yeah,
I do like the Falcons, but I'm glad for my take of the Bucks being better than the Falcons. I'm glad that the Falcons couldn't finish those plays because that shows me that they're good. They've gotten better. They're better than what I thought they were going to be, but they did take a step back from, week 1. And I like that, but I will say the team that did take the bigger step back, oof, the Minnesota Vikings got absolutely mollywomped, and that Falcons defense, I don't know if the Vikings
that was
Jesus.
a I know that was a burp. Maybe it gave me my voice back.
Um,
Maybe a little
I
bit.
I don't know if this was just the offensive line for the Vikings or if the Falcons defense was just that good at getting to JJ McCarthy, but by God, JJ McCarthy looked bad. And I don't want to say it's all his fault. He had 0 time to throw that ball.
Yeah.
Absolutely 0. He should have been better and a little more understanding with, okay, the pressure's coming and not I shouldn't have thrown that ball. I shouldn't have done that. But what else do you want the guy to do? You just want him to tuck every single time?
Well,
Like,
also, we need to
dude.
stop, like, the talk around JJ McCarthy is people keep talking about him like he has played in the NFL before. This is his 2nd game in the NFL ever. Like, people just being like, "I don't know. Does he have it? Does he got it? Is he good?" And it's like, he's playing in his
Yeah.
2nd game ever.
And
Can we
then
give him some time? Like,
the only bright I mean, there was 2 bright spots in this game last night, and that was the defense, the rushing defense for the Falcons getting to him as many times as they did. I think they had 6 sacks total for the team. I looked that up yesterday. I think that's what it ended at. And then you also had Bijan Robinson just absolutely crushing it. That first
yeah.
play, that first series that he had, I was honestly like, just keep feeding it, feeding him, and he's going to run the ball in. Um, but yeah, he looked good. That's pretty much the bright spot. So everybody who picked Bijan Robinson, great pick. I mean, we all
Yeah.
knew he was going to be good, and they're going to lean on him. Um, so I
Honestly,
don't really
we
have much. It was a stinker of a game. I don't have much to say about that. Besides,
well, also with the Falcons, I think when you now look at their schedule, the Falcons become a very interesting team with the teams they play left on their
hmm
schedule
oh yeah,
because they're going to have matches. Obviously, they just played against the Vikings, which might come into seeding when it gets to playoff time if they don't win the
right.
NFC South. They also play Commanders outside of the NFC South, obviously. They play Commanders, 49ers, and Cardinals. And then there was one more team. Oh, and the Rams.
Dude, those are all
So
going to be fun games. I think they're all
well,
decent
also,
teams.
they're gonna be fun games, but also when it gets time to playoffs, that literally could be the difference between a 4th seed, a 5th seed, and then the last, wild card team in the playoffs. So, I really do think the Falcons, again, there's teams like the Colts or like other teams we've seen play these first 2 weeks where you're like, "Are they legit? Are they legit?" I think from what I've seen from the Falcons, they look the most legit out of the question mark teams. So their schedule now, especially in the NFC, they play a lot of contenders where it's going to come down to win this game and you might be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But
Oh, man, that was
all
fun.
right.
So I walk into my bedroom because that's where my daughter's staff development day, so she's home, and I just loaded her up with snacks and put something on. Just I have to do that, or I wouldn't be able to do this pod today. So we just go in there, and she's got her bag of chips, she's got her apples, she's got a pouch, and then she's got her toys in there, just all spread out. She's loving life. She's loving life. Um, yeah, she just wanted me to go in there, and she just asked if I could change the channel to something else, but
Nice.
she's the best. PBS Kids. That's what we're watching. I, I forgot how many good shows are on PBS, and I used to watch that a lot growing up. PBS is great. Uh anyway, sorry. It's just reminiscing. Been watching a lot of kids shows lately, and I'm just like, oh,
That's that's
so
weird.
here, I know, but listen, do you remember growing up that show Zaboomafoo
Yes.
and the Crap Brothers?
I don't remember that.
So
I
so
remember
it's
Zuboomafoo.
it's the 2 guys that run the show, the Crap Brothers. They are still doing they're like our dad's age plus whatever, and they got big old bellies and whatnot, but they are still doing shows. Like they have a whole different show now. I mean, when they popped on, I freaked out. I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is my childhood. Kids, we're watching this." And they're like, And I'm like, "No, we're watching this. You're gonna learn about ant eaters today, okay? They're great." Anyway,
Are they? Are they great?
no, anteaters are creepy. I don't like them. Um, but so moving on to the last game that I know you talked about them, Eagles Chiefs. By golly, I'm so happy that the Chiefs lost, and I'm a little worried still about the Eagles because I think the Chiefs are not good. And Patrick Mahomes, there's something off, man. He just doesn't look good.
No, but
He's overthrowing the balls. He's underthrowing. Travis Kelsey having a little pissy fit on the field is the greatest goddamn thing. That meme is going to be great that our buddy Hawk sent in the chat. I am
yeah.
going to use that consistently for the rest of our lives. I love every second of that. Are you going to pull it up?
Oh, I'm pulling it up.
Oh, it's so good. I love it. It made me happy. Saquon Barkley had a bit of a good game. He's still waiting. I'm still waiting for him to break out. I think he will. Uh, but I mean, they're playing some decent teams, right? But I'm
Well,
waiting for him to
also
really go off.
you forgot about this when it comes to Travis Kelsey.
Oh, I love this. The commentators were like, the commentators were. I'm sick of this shit. The commentators, when he was doing that, he was like, and then you got Kelsey on the sideline hyping up his team. You know, getting more on, and I'm like, when they said it, it was very positive how they were making the outlook of it. And then I saw him out, and I'm like, no, he just said I'm tired of this shit. Like he's throwing
Yeah.
a pissy fit. This is not him enjoying what's going on. Well, you know what, Travis Kelsey? How about you don't? How about you catch a football and you don't just like hand it over in the end zone? You dumb little twat. Sorry, sorry.
Also, Honey Bunny said, "Great. Now the Zaboomafoo song is stuck in my head, Casino."
You're very welcome. It is great. I love it. It's a great show. And yeah, they're still doing stuff. It's great. It's awesome. I love every second of it.
Wait, I'm trying to pull up, the,
Zaboomafoo song.
no, 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 we will get copyrighted. I'm trying to pull
I,
up
I
the
I'm
meme,
I'm just being silly with you. Hi, honey.
but
I'm almost done.
casino,
Okay.
the topic I know you and I both love. I don't know if you heard or not, but this Chiefs Eagles game, and again, before my voice went to shit, I did a
Mhm.
whole video just on this game yesterday for about 20 minutes. So if you want to hear my full thoughts on it, go listen to that video. It's on our it's on Rumble, it's on YouTube. Go check it out. But what I do not like is how now all of a sudden this game has sparked a another tush push debate. So, Casino, thoughts on the tush push debate for the thousandth time?
Uh, Beat it. Learn how to beat it. It's great. Yeah, so I saw the slow-mo where it looked like the Eagles did jump offside. They moved before the ball was snapped. But also the Chiefs are doing the same. Like it's just a scrum, right? It is a rugby scrum. And when you break it down frame by frame, it's going to be tough to make those calls, but beat the tush push,
Now
right?
it's
Just
not
beat
popping
it.
up.
Just beat it. Again, you can run that play. Every team can run that play. They just don't do it because A, quarterbacks have gotten hurt. The Chiefs don't run that play anymore because Patrick Mahomes got hurt and had to take time off when they try to run it. The Bills won't run that play anymore. Why? Because they can't get it in. Like
Yeah.
just like it's not their fault, the Eagles' fault that they are so successful at it. Figure it out. Watch it, study it, see how they do it. It's also Jalen Hurts being able to squat and that what's his I know you know it. What's his squat?
It's like something like 500
Which is
uh, pounds or
insane.
something like that. Yeah.
It's
But
insane.
again, and
Like,
you also know that it's not just the size of your quarterback, it's specifically how strong he is because we've seen where
yeah.
Josh Allen struggles to get a yard doing this exact
Yeah.
same play.
And you also have to be smart on where you go with the ball. Like Tom Brady was really good at quarterback sneaks because he knew with every team, he knew the weak spots in the defensive line and he knew where to go. That's why when it was 4th and 1 or 4th and 2, and they would go for that, the Patriots go for it. I felt confident that Brady would get it. His success rate is phenomenal at that, just like Jalen Hurts. They're smart quarterbacks who know how to run that play. Learn
But
how to run that play, figure it out. If not, stop it. And you know what? The Chiefs did do a pretty decent job of stopping them a couple times on it.
yeah,
Right? So
yeah,
because they know, I mean, they play the Eagles, they know that's what they need to stop. They've worked on it, and it's shown they've worked on it. So other teams need to work on that as well. The Chiefs almost stopped it, and it got very interesting. I sent you that message of, "Oh, the freaking Broncos got screwed, and that sucks, and if the Chiefs are able to stop them, I'm going to just punch somebody at work tonight." And I sent you that. And obviously I wouldn't, but I was frustrated that this was about to happen. Um,
well, also Casino, I didn't know this, but did you know the single reason that the Chiefs lost yesterday was the tush push? Here, let's have Adam Schefter talk about it. Oh, whoops. It's probably
was lost. And
okay.
the
Ready?
biggest thing here to me is that this game was lost.
Goddamn, Teddy Bruschi still looks good.
This game was lost when the NFL owners refused to ban the tush push from happening. It wasn't lost yesterday. It was
Shut
lost.
up, Adam.
And there might be a lot of games that the Eagles play that are lost in March because this play is unstoppable. It not only does the defense not know how to handle it, but even the officials
That's a
don't.
lie.
You're seeing the Eagles linemen jump off sides every play, and nothing's called.
It's a
Uh,
false
The officials have
okay, stop it right there. Stop it there. Calling the kettle.
Eagles
How
get
many times have
whatever they
we seen the players jump on offense for the Chiefs?
Dude, I mean, there was an
It's
there's a player on the Chiefs that
yeah.
literally
There's
it
a
became a
montage
meme.
when you have a montage made up of, of you jumping off sides consistently and it's never called. Adam, shove it up your ass, push it up into your ass, and call it a day. Oh god, I can't stand him.
Yeah,
Oh,
what is it? Juwan
Jennings.
Taylor, whatever it was for the Kansas City Chiefs. Opening night of the season last year when they played the Lions, it became like a meme or Juwan Taylor. That's what it
Yeah,
was.
dude, he was like 3 steps already before it's like 3 steps in
Yeah.
before the ball was even snapped. Like, can't handle it. Love that the Chiefs lost. This is phenomenal. They are on a 3-game losing streak. This is the first time in Mahomes' era that he's lost 3 games in a row, which is awesome going back to the Super Bowl. And this is the second time since 2014 that the Chiefs have started 0-2. And again, 0-2, pretty much a death sentence. And I know I know that we talk about the 2-2. You can go win championships at 2-2, but when you start, and they most likely will, in my opinion, start 1-3, because what they have next is the Giants and then the Ravens. The Giants though look pretty good. We could, might have an upset there, but the
Ooh,
rate. I mean,
early
we
upset
might.
alert.
No, I said we might. I'm not saying that's what I'm picking, but just saying there's a possibility the Giants have played well in a couple of their games. But the Ravens, you don't expect you expect the Ravens to go into Kansas City and just, if the Eagles can, with that team being a little right now, the
Yeah.
Ravens are going to go absolutely mollywomp the Chiefs. So you're starting 1-3. Good luck making those playoffs. Oh, I forgot. You ain't, because then after that, you got the Jags, you got the Lions, you got the Raiders, and you are out 2 of your best. I know Worthy might come back, but he's not going to be 100%. And then you have Butterfingers Brown, not Hollywood Brown. He's Butterfingers Brown. And then, yeah, and then you're still out Rasheed Rice for all these really big games. If you get behind the 8 ball after that, right? So what do you got here? After that, then the 6 games, then you have the Commanders, the Bills, the Broncos, the Colts, which the Colts are going undefeated, right? Then then you have the Cowboys away, and then Titans, or you get the Texans, the Chargers. They'll beat the Titans. You okay?
Well,
Yeah, you good.
also, what is it? Also, that game was not lost because of tush pushes. That game was lost because we all saw the video on the sidelines where, what is it? We all saw the video on the sidelines where Travis Kelsey was throwing his little temper tantrum, which again, if Travis Kelsey was not Taylor Swift's fiance, the media would talk and cover Travis Kelsey a lot different than he's currently covered, because how he's currently covered is like, oh, he's Mr. Taylor Swift and all that kind of stuff. How he should be covered is a guy who loses his cool on the sidelines way more than any other player, and nobody talks shit about him, even though they rightfully should. I
Oh,
mean,
100% they should. He's an
after
absolute diva. He's
what
more of a diva than his diva wife or
a hundred
fiance.
percent, 100%. There's
Yeah.
that what famous
So
clip where
do
he
you
almost knocks over Andy Reid and is like
yeah.
screaming in his face.
Yeah. Do you
Yes,
think, I mean, he's kind of a little pansy, and he's got a short little temper. Do you think he takes her name? Do you think he becomes Travis Swift?
celebrities never do that. No way. No way. But what is it? Also, it is really funny that after he did his little temper tantrum on the sidelines, he dropped 3 passes like right after that. One of them hit him right in the chest, bounced off him, went into Makuba's arms, and then that was basically the play that won the Eagles the game. So very poetic that the whiny baby on the sidelines is the one that basically cost them that game.
Oh,
Um,
100%. Um,
Also, that temper tantrum happened after a Patrick Mahomes touchdown. So again, like, what are you complaining about? Your team just scored and went up. What are you complaining about? But other than that, Casino, that game obviously was lost back in March. Had nothing to do with the Travis Kelsey drop that hit him right in the chest. It was lost back in March because of the tush push. And also, last thing on this game, it's funny that on a play where the Eagles jump off sides and the Chiefs jump off sides, that only the Chiefs sideline is freaking out, and the announcers are freaking out that the Chiefs did not get that call. So why, if both teams jumped off sides,
you
would they
will
just
break it. You're too heavy.
So why when both teams jump
Sorry,
offside?
my daughter wants to get in the crib with my son. She just went and woke him up. I'm like, that's not gonna work.
Yeah,
Well, we've pretty much reached the end of the show. My son just woke up. I got to take the dogs to the groomers. I got to go do life shit. Um,
I gotta
yay,
heal my voice.
yeah, yeah. I got a remedy for you. You want to come back on over around 3:30? Got it for you.
That sounds creepy. That sounds ominous.
No, I
But
actually have cough medicine from last week. When I was sick.
sure,
This might really help you.
cough
Yeah,
medicine.
yeah.
But
Just saying.
this has been the Only Sports Podcast. I'm Will. That's Casino over there. We will be back on Wednesday. Hopefully, my voice will also be back by then. And yeah, let us know what you thought of the games this week. And we'll see you Wednesday. Adios.
Zaboomafoo.
Zaboomafoo. Oh, I always forget to put the outro video. So here
Yeah.
we go. Adios.
Zaboomafoo.